Hello, everyone. Again, I'm Mihai. I'm going to be your host today. Welcome to the Backstage community session, the October one. And I feel like time is flying. Like 2 or 3 months ago, I was talking about KubeCon and BackstageCon. It's literally the last one before the North America KubeCon in early November. Time does fly. All right, let me run quickly through the agenda. Today we have a rather short sort of like agenda. I'm going to cover quickly the release highlights. We just shipped last night the 144 with a bunch of changes that I'm going to go through. I'm going to quickly touch base on Backstage and KubeCon. I've been doing this for the last couple of releases, but this is really the last one since next time we will meet will be the week after KubeCon. So I just wanted to give a heads up in there. And then before we open the floor for the Q&A, I just want to reserve a bit of time to perhaps survey around the room to see if how's the NFS going, but more on that a little bit later. All right, that said, let me jump straight into the release highlights. As always, you can find all of this in our release README and change logs. But we're gonna cover this, or at least the high level changes. To keep the sort of like tradition going, every release we have some sort of breaking changes. This time around, it's Scaffolder, whose backend is getting a big cleanup. We've done quite a bit of that cleanup in a staggered way along the couple of last releases, so it shouldn't be a surprise. But just calling out that we've got a couple of deprecated APIs that are now gone. The task management got a revamp, and the task broker now mandates the implementation of the cancel, retry, and recover. Cleaner, faster, easier to extend. Go please and have a look and channel the feedback if there's anything that requires follow-up work. Then on the 144, we also have a bunch of design system updates. I wonder if I messed up the order. Anyway, I'll pack up the first two and then I'll touch base with the theme a little bit later as well. We've got two updates on the design system. One, there's no more need for a built-in CSS baseline. You can now just import the styles CSS files directly globally. It's a small change, but it gives a little bit more control over your styling and theme layering. So please go have a look in the context of Backstage UI. Also, the dialog and password fields components are available, plus a switch to the CSS modules for cleaner, more scoped styles. Also, I want to call out that there's more accessibility improvements in this release as well. Now, moving on, we also have an extension testing update. The render in test 8 got simpler. So those that need the extension testing, please go and use the new render test app utility. I know there's been a little bit of a chat on that on Discord, but again, the purpose for this is to have things more lighter for our modern plugin ecosystem. Now, along this release, we also had a little bit of a change in the CLI. It now detects automatically, the Backstage CLI automatically detects the Yarn plugin version, and also adds a handy entry point flag if you need to have a custom app start. So for those of you that need to have more dev setup, the things just got easier. Moving on, you can also now plug in your own external service auth methods. There's a new token handler ref that enables backend-to-backend auth customizations. Just wanted to call out, thank you so much, Juan Pablo, for contributing this to Backstage. Long-term contributor there. Thank you. What else do we have here? Lots of goodies. Oh yeah, the themer that I mentioned earlier. Probably I should have packed that with the previous ones. But yeah, we also have a themer. Obviously, there's been a lot of back and forth with the MUI and now the BUI thing. So there's now a converter in there so that, hold on a sec. There we go. So those of you that have V5 MUI themes, you can now convert those automatically into the Backstage UI themes. There's also some cool features like a live preview that you can just download and integrate so it fastens up your adoption of Backstage. So if you haven't tried this, please go ahead and give it a try. It's going to automate a little bit the process in there. Speaking of contributions earlier, TechDocs now has live reloading, so that you've got better docs on the fly. The TechDocs CLI serve now supports live reloads to the MK docs, so you can just write, save, and preview them instantly. Thank you so much. I want to make sure I pronounce your name correctly, Gabriel Duckney. Thank you so much for the contribution. On the same front of contributions, we've got Brodil. Thank you for adding, or rather say for relaxing the linting rules in there. Plugins can now import from other plugin packages when it actually makes sense. So hopefully this makes the collaboration for the front-end devs easier. And then last but not least, the server config options are, I apologize, give me one sec. Here we go. If you need to fine-tune your server configurations, this is now available for some more fine granular tuning. Thank you, Beth, for adding this. Stuff like timeouts in the HTTP server and things like that can now be configured directly in the app config, which obviously makes the things much easier and gives you back more control on that. So that said, a huge thanks to the whole team of maintainers, contributors, and pretty much everyone that made this 144 release possible. And that said, please keep on the feedback coming. That said, as I mentioned at the beginning, I wanted to call out again that BackstageCon happens at KubeCon in Atlanta, the North America version, between 10th and 13th of November. So this is the last community session we'll have before that. The next one will be the week afterwards. Since, I believe, like August or July, I don't remember, I've been calling this out, but this time I wanted to let you know, if you haven't seen it already, that all the schedules are live. So you can actually go on the website and see what kind of keynotes and presentations and content will be shared during the event, both for Backstage KubeCon, but overall for BackstageCon, but also for KubeCon event. So I hope to see as many as you as possible there. Last chance to sort of like have a look into that. Cool. I've done a lot of talking today. I want to stop. And I wanted to use this community session as a perhaps opportunity to maybe survey the room is perhaps a good way to put it. I do want to follow up on Discord as well, as we've heard from all of you about the feedback on the new Frontend System. Reminder for everyone, we released the Go Adopt NFS and stable release in 142. That was like mid-August, I believe. So we're already 2 months in. We've had a couple of dot releases. We've had a couple of fixes, a lot of feedback. But basically what I wanted to ask today here in the room is just pause for a second and ask, how is basically your new front-end system adoption going so far? Whether you are an app adopter or whether you're a plugin author, I'm just curious to pause for a couple of moments to see, perhaps use the meeting chat to just let us know, and I'm happy to voice those out loud. Where are you in the NFS journey? Oh, hi. Thank you so much. Oh, that's awesome. Going live. Fingers crossed for things to go well. Thank you. Also, thanks for all the contributions there, Heike. It's a lot of good stuff coming up there. How about everyone else? How are you with whether you're a app adopter or whether you're developing a plugin or anything else? How is your journey going so far? All right, thank you, Adam. Haven't got to the migration yet on our app. No worries. Yeah, we try to stagger things around, and I think there's good documentation, but yeah, you can never have enough tooling or never enough automation to help out with that. Cool. Anyone else that wants to share in the channel? Are you considering it at all? Are you in the process? Are you? Hold on a sec. Next quarter. Thank you, Nathan. No worries. Good to know. That's good to know. I wonder if we have anyone in the call from the Backstage community side. Let me see, is Vincenzo in the call? He's not. Is Beth? Beth's not in the call, right? I know we're doing really well on the Backstage community. I think we're almost all of them. I think all of the plugins are now NFS supported, which is pretty awesome. So I think, yeah, obviously the plugin migration is probably a little bit smoother than the actual app. Litmar, plan to implement this soon. Awesome. Scott, we are live with the NFS for the past month. Wonderful. Ah, okay, so this is going well. All right, I'll pause for a few more seconds to see how many other feedback responses are coming. And then I'm gonna ask another follow-up question, which is, how did you find the process? Was that good enough? Was there, looking back, anything that we could have done better, anything that should have been done better? Assuming, obviously, there's always something to learn. I'm curious if there's one thing that, I wish there was X or I wish there was Y in there that sort of like take a little bit of a piece of feedback here. I'm happy to take silence as an answer as well, but I'll just assume if there is a silence, I'll assume everything was perfect, which may not always be the case, of course. I'll pause for a few more seconds in case someone's furiously typing. All right, thank you, 30,000. Change line for the migration. All right. Having a copilot. Yep. I hear you there. I hear you. Just a regular PR, isn't that, Heike? Yeah, I think I was looking at some of the plugins in the side. Like I think, yeah, for specific plugins, things are obviously much smoother, but for like the large app migrations, things do get a little bit convoluted. Litmar, it looks like we have to migrate a lot of the plugins to work with. I'm curious, Litmar, are you talking about the open source ones or do you have a lot of bespoke ones internally? I keep 22,000 changed, 10,000 removed. That's not that bad. That's a good ratio. That's not bad at all. I guess the other way around could have been better. Sorry, Litmar, to follow up, your question is, you said that you have a lot of plugins to work with NFS. Are those specific? Are those custom plugins you have internally, or you're talking about some of the open source ones that are still lacking the support? Just out of curiosity. All right, both. All right, fair enough. All right. Scott, 38,000 lines removed. Okay, that's awesome. Ben, did we ever say, I see you in the room. Sorry, you're next to my screen there. Shavika, like, did we ever consider key metric success for NFS is reducing the number of code in the PRs? Can we drive that?
Not sure we did. I mean, providing everything still works and you remove 38,000 lines of code, I guess that's a good thing.
I mean, that's a lot of code.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's good. Yeah. Hopefully a lot of that logic moves to the configurations and it's much easier to handle. All right, I'll pause for a few more seconds in case folks want to share in their numbers or feedback on the NFS or anything else related to new front-end system adoption, what you found useful, what you wish we had. All right, well, in that case, thank you so much, everyone, for your answers in there. Keep on migrating. I hope things go well, and please keep on the feedback coming for the NFS. We do expect. I think we've seen the last couple of weeks there are still some issues or small hiccups that need to be addressed. So please keep on that feedback. All right, that said, moving on to the last part, which is the Q&A. Are there any open questions in the room for this particular community session? Pausing for a couple of minutes for folks to have time to type in. Hey, Vincenzo.
Hello.
Sorry, just saw you now on the screen. Waiting for a few more seconds. All right. I don't see any question landing in the chat. Let me see, because there's also a Q&A one, no? I'm always confused by the chats here. Yeah, there we go, this one. Okay. There used to be a Q&A one as well. Cool. I don't see any upcoming questions in there, so we can keep this short and sweet for today. Thank you so much again, everyone, for attending. For those of you that make it to the BackstageCon and KubeCon in Atlanta, Georgia next month, safe travel, have a lot of fun, and enjoy the conference. And we'll see you the week afterwards, a month from now on. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day.